Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different emotional moments in this story by director J.J. Abrams that will really shed tears among the audience once they go ahead and see this movie come December of 2019. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So one aspect that a lot of fans, including myself, am really looking forward to seeing in this movie are of course the cameos from the originals and the prequels that will in fact make their way into episode 9 in some way, shape, or form. Now, one great thing about all of this is that yes, this is going to create a lot of nostalgia. The only thing that I really do ask for Disney is that this nostalgia makes a lot of sense and has a lot of meaning and purpose behind it all. This way, it doesn't seem like they're just throwing it in for no particular reason. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for this movie involving Han Solo, portrayed by Harrison Ford. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that director J.J. Abrams has planned during reshoots that are now said to last until early July is to bring in Harrison Ford as Han Solo for a shoot during the months of June, where it's described that they are going to attempt to key in Han Solo for a scene in which a vision of Han Solo would appear during Rey and Kylo's lightsaber duel that will be initiated by Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost, where it's described to be a moment in which the vision of Han is said to stall Kylo's duel with Rey and is being created by Luke to remind Kylo about his father. It's said to be a powerful moment for father and son, even though Han is said to not be alive. It's described that Ford will film scenes in front of a green screen, where the shoot is said to last only one day for the sequence that will later be added into one of their flash fights, where Kylo is said to see Han where Rey is knocked down on the ground, just as Kylo is about to strike her down. Harrison Ford will be delivering lines of dialogue as Han Solo to Kylo Ren for the scene that is said to be very powerful and emotional that will shed tears, and has all to do with Han Solo reminding of Kylo Ren and who he really is or once was. One of which is planned for Harrison to stand in as Han Solo on a piece of metal during their fight against the First Order bridge. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this because not only does it sound very emotional and very powerful, it really seems like it's going to be a great attempt by the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker to really phase Kylo Ren, to really make him even more conflicted and shift back to the light side of the Force just before the new villain comes into play here. Now, what I like about this is that this basically is involving Han Solo in the middle of their lightsaber duel, even though it's not really Han Solo in the flesh. I get that, I totally understand that, but at the same exact time, you can see how this also parallels of what Luke Skywalker did in Return of the Jedi, where he was trying to turn Darth Vader to the good side, where now Luke Skywalker is doing the same exact thing for another family member, just in a different and supernatural way, where he's actually involved within the netherworld of the Force, initiating these visions of Han Solo within Kylo Ren's mind. Now, this I can see as JJ's attempt of really making the Force Ghost of Luke a little bit more meaningful in this story, and how it's going to stick with Kylo Ren. In fact, just yesterday, it was confirmed by Entertainment Weekly that Kylo Ren is going to be haunted by Luke's specter in episode 9. And that, to me, I think speaks volumes. It tells us that Luke's Force Ghost really is going to be a thing that lingers from start to finish of this movie, but I digress. This whole entire scene that is actually planned to be filmed this June of 2019 for, of course, Harrison Ford, where he's actually going to be standing in front of a green screen for a one-day shoot. It's actually described to take place in early June, where the reshoots are actually set to extend all the way until early July. So a lot of things are being inserted and redone for this movie. Nothing too significant, but some of the more powerful moments are being done for this film. So, with that being said, this whole entire vision of Han Solo is said to interrupt Kylo Ren, where he's about to strike down Rey as she's actually down on the ground defenseless. And this phases Kylo Ren. This basically puts him into a moment of conflict where he's shifting back to the light. And that's the only thing about the sequel trilogy that we have seen with Kylo Ren, right? Is that he's always struggling between the light and the dark. And that's exactly why we are getting a brand new villain in this movie, is because, well, a lot of people for the longest time have wanted to see a full-fledged villain in the sequel trilogy, and that's exactly what we will be getting with the Dark Acolyte. So as far as Han Solo goes, guys, like I say, this sounds like a very intriguing moment, a very emotional moment that's going to shed a lot of tears for the audience, where we finally get to see both father and son in a very, I guess you could say chaotic moment where Kylo Ren was about to kill Rey, where Han Solo's vision just interrupts the whole entire duel. But mind you that this is all initiated by the Force Ghost of Luke, so I think that it's imperative that this is actually not to be revealed to Kylo Ren that these visions were being done by the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker. But for all we know, maybe Kylo Ren actually knows that it's being done by the Force Ghost of Luke, for all we know, right? So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.